Okay. Oh, and this thing
Hello?
keyboards. Yeah, what's
What's
up?
up? What's up, man? Yeah, I just wanted to say, I want to answer the question at the bottom. God, wait, you think, do you believe God gives baby cancer?
Yes.
Wait, have you read the Bible?
No.
All right. So can I answer your question? Me personally, I don't think that God gives baby cancer.
So where did cancer come from?
Cancer came from corruption.
What corruption?
So
Corruption of who?
corruption of humans. So basically, um, cancer came from corruption. Corruption came from sin. That's the answer to the question.
Did God know we were going to sin?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he created a world in which cancer could exist. And he knew that if we sinned, cancer would show up, right? And he knew that
Well,
babies would get it because he knows everything.
yeah, God knows all things. God knows all things.
So he knew when he created the world that cancer would show up and babies would get cancer. But he still made a world in which cancer could exist.
So God had a purpose for us, but just because God knows all things doesn't mean that He's responsible for those events.
If he created everything and he knows everything, he absolutely is responsible for anything that happens after the world is created because he created the world knowing that these things would happen.
So let's say that you tell your you what's
Here,
a
I'll
good
give you the
example?
analogy. If I leave my stove on and my kid presses his hand on the stove, it's my fault for leaving the stove on. I'm at fault. I'm the one who made the inciting incident. My kid's not at fault for that. I am. I left the stove on.
Well, that's no, that's not the same. That's not the same analogy. That's not the same analogy.
Sure, if I leave a bag of
Because
candy out, I know my kid will eat the candy, and I say, if you eat the candy, I'm going to punish you for the rest of the night. But I know he's going to eat the candy. So he eats the candy, and then I punish him, even though I knew he was going to do it. I left the food out. It's entrapment. Ooh, God's entrapping us. That's crazy.
no, so basically, we don't know all things, right? Do
No,
you
but
know all
God
things?
does. I don't. God does.
Yes, God does know all things.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much, and by the way, I'm a Christian, just let you know. But so basically, it's really like it's like this. You know, number one, God gave them a choice. God gave them the choice to do
Did
what
God know what
God told
choice
them
they
to
were
do.
going to choose?
God knew everything.
Then
God
that
knows
kind of doesn't
everything.
seem like a choice, right? We were always going to make this choice because God always knew that we were going to make this choice.
Okay,
There was no
let's
chance of
go.
us
Let's
doing another choice when God,
okay,
so
okay,
God
okay,
tested us knowing the answer and then punishes us for the answer he knew was going to happen when he created the test.
okay. Let's go back to the candy analogy. Even though you know, okay, you say that you left the candy out and the kid got the candy, right? Was it their choice or was it your choice? Did you force them to take the candy or did they take the candy on their own or did they have the free will to listen to your instructions?
It's not really free will if I know what they're going to do.
But that's not my so okay,
It is your
let's
question.
say
You asked if it was free will. I said it's not free will if you know what they're going to do.
I'm saying did the kid have the free choice to listen to your instruction or to listen to their to listen to their own feelings and get the candy?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing is I'm not God, right? So I don't actually know 100% whether the kid is going to take the candy or not. So there is a layer of free choice in this scenario. But in God's scenario, God knows all, sees all, and is everywhere. He's everywhere at all times, right? So before he even created the test, he knew the answer to what we were going to do. And it's not a, they might do this. It's they absolutely are going to do this every percent of the time. So he created humans, gave them a test that he knew they were going to fail, and then punished them for failing the test.
So it's well, the thing is though, like for instance, God gave them clear instructions on what to do, right? And they didn't listen.
He knew
They
they
didn't
weren't going
listen.
to listen. He knew they weren't going to listen before he made the test.
But
He
but
knew
but and
he
but
knew with
okay.
100% absolute certainty that they were going to fail the test and we're not going to listen to them.
But does that mean that it's God's fault?
No, it means God wanted this to happen. He wanted us
It's
to
not that
fail.
he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't want that.
If he didn't want us to fail, he would have created a universe where we didn't fail, right? He knew we were going to fail and still created the test. That means he wants us to fail. If you know 100% something is going to happen. Okay, I'll explain it really easily, right? See this thing right here? See this? If I drop this, I know without a shadow of a doubt, it will hit my table, right? Did I want it to hit my table just now? Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dropped
That's
it.
not the same thing. That's
It's
not
the
the same thing.
exact same thing. If I
That's
didn't
not the
want
same
this to hit the table,
No.
I wouldn't have dropped it. It's the exact
No.
same. It is beat for beat.
It's not the same thing
exact
because
same logic.
No, because you're basically you know an outcome of a situation that you are, like for instance, like just with the dropping the cards on the table, you know that if you drop it,
It will
it's
hit the
gonna
table.
fall on the table.
Yes.
It's gonna fall on the table, but that's not that's
God,
nothing compared.
God
You have a
knows.
free-
Wait,
you
no,
have
no,
a
no, no,
free
no.
choice.
God
You have a free
knew.
choice to choose
God,
something.
no, God knows everything that has happened, will happen, and is currently happening. He knew
Yes.
because he is all knowing. This is Adam and Eve. This is Adam and Eve right now. Okay, the table is eating the apple. If God doesn't want Adam and Eve to hit the apple, right? Dropping this would be the test. Dropping it is the test, right?
No,
This is what God did.
because God did not,
That's what God did.
God did not, God didn't make God number one. Like I said, it's not like God dropped them. God instructed them, and God told them not to do this.
God
And God even
knew
said what- and God
what
even
they
said
were
what would
going
happen
to do. Again, I don't know how this analogy is so one to one. I don't know how you're not getting it. I am God.
No, it's
hold on.
it's
I'm
something
gonna
that
I'm
you're
gonna
not-
show you again. I am
It's not-
God.
no, 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 no.
I am God. No, we're gonna walk through it one more time. I am God. Okay. This is Adam and Eve. I have now created Adam and Eve. Here they are. Okay. Dropping this would be the test. Hitting my desk would be the outcome. I know for a fact that if I drop this, it will hit the table. So if I test them, I know for a fact they'll hit the table, and the outcome of them hitting the table is punishment for sin because they failed the test. So this is what God did with Adam and Eve. He said, if I drop this, they're going to fail. If I test them, they're going to fail the test. So I test them, and they failed the test. He knew they were going to fail and still tested them, meaning he wanted them to fail, because if he didn't want them to fail, he would have done something different, but he didn't, because he knows everything. If you know everything and you don't enact something to change it, then you want it to happen.
Well, no, it's so pretty. No, it's not. So in the perspective of Adam and Eve, they knew they was instructed to do something, right? Just because God knows everything, we don't know everything, but we was instructed to not do something, right? Whose fault was it for eating the apple or the fruit?
God is to blame. God put the fruit there.
God put the fruit there.
Again,
But
I don't
who ate
blame my kids for eating candy when I leave candy out. I blame myself for leaving out the candy. God created the tree. God created the fruit. God created the punishment that would happen when they ate. So not only did he know they were going to eat the fruit, he said, I'm also going to create punishment for them for doing this thing that I know they are going to do.
Well, no, because he gave them specific instructions, right? What not to do, and he let them know what would happen if they did
Again,
it. But they still chose to
he
do it.
knew what they
was
were
their free
going
will.
to. It wasn't. Free will
just 'cause
cannot
you know
happen.
how-
Hold on. Free will cannot happen if the events of what we're going to do is predetermined. That's no longer free will. That means that we are predetermined to always do these things. We are always going to do them, no matter what, because God knows that we're always going to do them. Free will
Wait, so
doesn't matter.
So wait, was God controlling Adam and Eve?
No, but he predetermined their destiny.
Okay, so it's pretty much they. So you just admitted it. They had
Nope.
they chose.
Listen to the words I'm saying. If our outcomes are predetermined, then we have no free will to choose different outcomes. We are always going to choose the same outcome because God always knows what we are going to do at all times.
I feel like just because God knows everything does not means that He's responsible for the events that happen. Because we have free
He
will.
created everything knowing what are you talking about?
Just because He knows what's gonna happen.
Wait.
doesn't mean that-
Wait. If I create, like, if I throw a mixture of things together, right? Just random chemicals. And I say, if I heat up these chemicals, they're gonna explode, right? I don't make them explode. If heat's added, they explode. And then I put them in an oven. Would I say I didn't make the explosion, the heat of the oven made the explosion, I'm not responsible now, even though I knew what would happen when I added heat?
But the thing is, the chemicals don't have free will. They're just doing what they do, which is react to something. But Adam and Eve had free will, and they were instructed
Except
not
they
to do
didn't, because they were always going to make this choice. They were never going to make a different choice because God knows everything at all times. So he knew before he even created Adam and Eve that they were going to eat the apple. End of story. There was no other choice to be made because he always knew they were going to make that choice. Unless you're telling me God is not all knowing and he doesn't actually know everything, then possibly God wouldn't give people cancer.
I said at the beginning that God is all knowing. So I believe that God knows everything. I believe that God
gave babies cancer. Answer me this way. Answer me this one. Could he have created a universe where all the parameters of our universe are exactly the same, except babies don't get cancer? Could God have done that?
Like, were we living in a sinful world?
Nope. Everything is exactly the same, except physically babies cannot get cancer.
Well, you have to understand why we get cancer. I just told you.
No. I don't. Is God all good?
Yes, most definitely.
Does God want babies to have cancer?
He does not. No.
Okay, so why didn't he create a universe where everything's the same, except babies can't get cancer?
Well, that's how he created in the beginning. He created us perfect.
He knew this would happen. This is my issue. Okay. This is my issue with Christianity and with like Christians specifically, is you guys don't understand that by having a God be all powerful, all knowing, and all seeing, it inherently makes him evil. If there is any sort of bad in the world, he physically cannot be all good. It is an impossibility. All good being would not let babies get cancer that are innocent if he does not want them to. Especially if he has the power to make it so they don't. That's not all good.
So, okay. Would God have been good if, okay. Let's say this. So, God, number one, let me answer the first question. Could God have created a world where that there wasn't the ability to eat the
I'm sorry?
Created the world? Could God create?
Hey, yo, hold on. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is happening to my TikTok? Holy shit, what the fuck? That's crazy. Okay, what were you saying?
Somebody said you, but no. So I wanted to answer your first question. So basically, you were asking me, could God have created a world where Adam and Eve did not eat the fruit?
No, could he have created a world where everything is the exact same, but cancer does not exist?
Like the way it is now, but cancer doesn't exist?
Cancer could even exist, but everything is the exact same, except babies don't get cancer. Everything is the same.
So, like, everything is the same in the sense the things that are happening now where death still occurs, right? Like that?
There is no difference in the universe except babies cannot get cancer.
Well, if baby doesn't get cancer, that means that death is not happening. right? To no one.
What? How the fuck did you make that leap?
So basically what I'm saying is,
I said everything is the exact same. Everything. The only slight difference is that it's impossible for babies to get cancer. Everything else is the same.
let's see, hold on. I think that God can do. I mean, he's all powerful, so he can do anything.
So why didn't he? You've claimed he doesn't want he doesn't want babies to have cancer. You've claimed he's all good. You've claimed he has the ability to make a world where babies don't get cancer, but he did not. So why not?
That's because God gave humans free will, and since God gave humans free will, that means
we would still have free will in this universe.
Okay, but you have to understand. So look, if you're asking me, like, because it doesn't make sense. If you're saying the world is the exact same way it is right now, meaning sin in the world and death, right? Sin and death in the world, right?
Yeah, there can be sin and death in the world still, yeah.
Yeah, so so that's what I told you. Corruption caused cancer. Corruption comes from sin.
God knew we would sin, God knew we would corrupt, and God made it so that when we sin, cancer shows up. Why didn't he just do the exact same thing, but just say, okay, physically, humans do not have the ability to get cancer until they're like 18. So that way no babies are ever going to get cancer.
So that would mean that no babies would die until we're 18, right?
You know you can. You know you can die from other things, right?
So, I mean, yeah, babies die from abortion, right?
No, they don't.
You know I just checkmated you, right?
No, fetuses die from abortions, not babies.
No.
Yes, what's the definition of baby?
So the definition of baby is, I mean, pretty much the person in the womb.
No, the definition of baby is someone that's born. A very young child, especially one newly or recently born.
So the thing is, right? So are you talking about, babies getting cancer outside the womb? That's what you're talking about?
In or out? Are babies innocent in the eyes of God? Yes or no?
100%.
Okay, so why should innocent creatures have to suffer through cancer for something they did not do?
That's because, man, I have a brain stutter right now, but that's because, like I told you earlier, corruption caused sin.
I know that it did.
That's what I'm telling you.
I know that that's what you guys claim it did. Yes. Why did God punish innocent people for the corruption of two people?
For instance, we all die because of Adam and Eve. And, so pretty much not only do babies die, we didn't do what Adam did, but we still suffer the consequences. So babies, they suffer the consequences just like
if my son breaks a lamp and for that I punch his son in the face, is that right? Is that am I a good dad? Am I a good creator if I do that?
Wait, can you repeat that?
If my son breaks a lamp and to punish him for that lamp, I punch his son in the face. Am I a good person or am I a bad person?
What does this have to equate with? How is this equal to men having to suffer for sins
that we didn't commit?
I mean, sin brought sin into the world. We all have original sin.
Because of something we didn't do.
Okay, but sin brought corruption. So
because of something we didn't do.
Okay,
Did I eat
look,
the
y'all
apple? So why am I punished for somebody else eating the apple? Sounds like God's kind of just a dick.
bro, don't disrespect God like that.
I mean,
But
maybe
look,
if he wasn't a dick, I wouldn't call him a dick.
look, I'm trying to be respectful, So
I am being
you know what I'm
respectful.
saying?
I'm not saying anything about you.
I mean, you're saying bad things about my God, and I don't,
Okay, well,
don't.
if your God didn't do bad things, I wouldn't say bad things about him.
I mean, either we can have a conversation, or you can mock
I
and make
mean,
fun of me.
if me, I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of God. If me talking
Yeah,
bad
so,
about God makes you not want to have the conversation, then I guess you don't want to have the conversation.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna
I don't
make
know
fun
what
of
you, I
God,
don't know, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not going to censor myself because you are religious. Like, okay.
well, like if I talk bad about your father or mother, would you get offended?
No, I don't give a fuck what people on the internet say.
What? I'm saying, if someone did say something bad about your mother or father, would you
No,
get
I
offended?
don't care what people's like. It does not bother me. Talk as
So
much
you
shit
don't
as
care
you
about
want.
you don't care about your mother or father. You have no respect for your mother or father.
Wait,
That's
I
what you're
have
saying.
plenty of respect. I just don't give a fuck what another person says. It does not bother me. It does not affect me.
Bro. Well, like I said, man, don't make fun of my father. All right.
Okay, I
So
won't make
look,
fun of your father. Absolutely. I will make fun of your
yeah,
God, though.
yeah, God is my father. All right.
Damn. Didn't God say honor thy father? Is it honoring your father if you call another man your dad?
God is our heavenly Father, so
Cool. Why is he evil, though?
He's not. The reason why we are punished is because humans are inherently evil.
Were we inherently evil to start? I thought we were perfect at the start.
We were perfect at the start, yes.
And then what happened?
So when man disobeyed God in the
Why
garden
did we disobey God?
because of the temptation of Satan,
Okay, who created Satan?
I would say
Everything comes back to the Lord.
So God allowed the ability for Satan to exist, but God did not create Satan.
Yeah. Yes, he did. He created Lucifer.
Yeah, he created Lucifer, but Lucifer became Satan.
Does God know everything? Yes. So he created Lucifer knowing when he created him that he would become Satan. He knew this would happen. He knew 100%. There was no doubt in his mind, yet he still created Lucifer.
I mean, it's honestly, you're putting God in a box because you think just because you know something.
No, I'm not. Christianity is putting God in a box. I'm not
No.
putting him in this box. I don't call God all powerful. I don't call God all knowing. I don't call God all seeing. By Christianity saying that these things are true, they are inherently putting God in a box and then inherently making God contradictory. Like, it'd be really easy for Christianity to just say God created the universe and then God fucked off. He doesn't care what happened after that. He just said boom and then he left.
Do you want to see the hypocrisy in this whole thing, your whole argument? So
Sure.
you want to complain about God allowing babies to have, he is not giving baby cancer, but you want to complain about God allowing babies to have cancer, but yet you support abortion. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I don't think they're babies based on science. They're not babies. But you can try to show some like contradictory there, but unfortunately, babies have to be born. I mean, you want to talk about fetuses? Sure, we kill fetuses all the time because based on science, I don't see any moral issues with killing a fetus. But also, I'm not God, so I don't really care what I do. God is who you claim to be all good and all powerful and all knowing and all seeing. That's not me. I never claimed to be all good, all powerful, all knowing, and all seeing. So what does it matter if I kill a fetus? Oh, bye. He left. Bro, please.